If you want to blow up your score in King Kong Pinball, there are 2 stacks that you need to know, and I'm going to walk you through both step by step and then show you live action gameplay. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what to do and why you're doing it. This roadmap is built around stacking 2 scenes or modes around specific multiballs, and I can't stress enough how important it is to understand how each of these individual scenes and multiballs work, because it's very easy to not get the score that you wanted out of these stacks if you don't know what's going on. If this sounds complicated, don't worry, because it's pretty simple. We're simply combining Pterodactyl Attack with King Kong Multiball and Save Ann with Giant Spider Multiball. And here's an easy memory trick to never forget these stacks. It's 2 simple phrases: Pterodactyl versus Kong and Save Ann from the Giant Spider. That's it. Now you won't forget it. Let's start with Pterodactyl Attack stacked with King Kong Multiball. You'll want to focus on the drop targets early on, as you need to complete these twice in order to light your Kong locks at the center ramp. The added benefit to doing this is that each drop also gives you a bonus multiplier, and it lights the river to collect your river awards. Once your locks are lit, you're going to hit the center ramp 3 times to qualify King Kong Multiball. And because we're playing on a pro, that will light the star at the right orbit. Now, this is where the stack comes in. Before you start Multiball, pick Pterodactyl Attack as your seed, and as soon as that mode starts, you're going to immediately start your Multiball. And here's why this combo works so well: because it's all about the drop targets. To light jackpots in King Kong Multiball, you need to knock down every single drop target, while at the same time, because Pterodactyl Attack is running, one of those drop targets will be lit for mode progression. When you hit that drop, you get a drop award, and it lights the Kong cave. So the sequence is very simple: drop target, cave. Then you do it again, drop, cave. Repeat that 4 times and the mode is complete. During Multiball, a priority shot should be the gong. And the reason for this is because it gives you an extra 15 seconds on your scene timer, and it gets you 1 shot away from an add-a-ball. The second priority becomes lighting your jackpots, which means clearing the drop targets 1 time. And once you do this, the left ramp and the right orbit are lit for jackpots, with the left ramp being worth 2x and the right orbit being worth 1x. You hit either one of these and you're going to light your side ramp for a super jackpot. Now, if you want even more value, you'll just hit the 3 green arrows located at the left spinner, center ramp, and cave, and that'll light a virtual relock at your center ramp, which will give you 2x scoring for roughly 15 to 20 seconds. Now let's talk about the second stack, Save Ann with Giant Spider. In Save Ann, 5 shots are lit that will build points that you can collect at the gong. These 5 shots are the left ramp, center ramp, side ramp, right orbit, and the cave. Each shot will disappear after you hit it, so hit another in order to relight it. And when you combo shots, this will give you 2x value. And you're going to continue building the value up, and then you can cash it in at the gong shot. You do this 4 times to finish the mode, with the last one being a hurry up countdown. For Giant Spider, you're going to hit spinners for switch hits in order to light red shots. And once enough switches are hit, your red shots are going to show up at the left ramp, center ramp, and side ramp. Each red shot is going to build your jackpot multiplier and can max out at 4x. You collect this jackpot at the pit. You just simply do this sequence again and again until you can't do it anymore. What makes this stack so powerful is that the 3 red shots for Giant Spider are also 3 of the primary shots to Save Ann. And also, because you collect gong hits, you're guaranteed to add 15 seconds to your mode at the first gong collect. So if you want to dominate this game, focus on these 2 stacks. They're powerful, they're repeatable, and they're fun to execute. And before we get started, I would greatly appreciate it if you leave a like or a comment down below. Let me know what your King Kong strategy is. I'm curious. Now, it's important to say that there's also a few other features that are going to happen naturally throughout this gameplay, and they can help you boost your score up even further. And some of these happen in the background, and some of it you can focus on with purpose in order to maximize whatever strategy you're doing. You're going to be collecting King Kong letters throughout, and that'll unlock power-ups, mystery perks. And anytime you hit the left ramp, that's also going to give you a bonus award with cliff awards and whatnot. You can hit it through the U-turn shot or knock down drop targets, and that will give you the river award or light your river to go down that and give you the river awards automatically. And also in single ball play, you can hit the side ramp in order to start biplane attack. And you're also, through all of this, you could hit the yellow inserts for your climb awards. So there's all kinds of side features, and you can stack up extra points, perks, mystery awards, whatever you need to focus on to bring into your main strategy. They're great to take advantage of, so even if you're not going out of your way to do them, just be aware of it. And during this gameplay, you're going to see that happen. And a lot of these situations that once we start to understand the code and the rules a lot more, there are going to be several unique strategies that we can employ, focusing on combining all these elements up. And the final thing I'll say before we get this plunge on, you'll notice I have the King Kong roadmap right there. What we're looking for is qualify scene, qualify Kong Multiball. We're going to start Pterodactyl attack. Then we're going to bring in King Kong Multiball, and we're going to play that out. Then afterwards, we're going to qualify another scene, and then we're going to qualify the pit, which is located on the lower left-hand side. And we're going to start save and then hopefully start our Giant Spider Multiball, which is one of the pit multiballs. And all this will make perfect sense in the next 10 minutes. Let's go ahead and finally get to it.
Let's take a thrilling look back into yesterday at none
All right, we're going to get our plunge on here. And because this is on a pro, the qualifying the scenes is a little bit different. You need to hit 2 blue shots in order to light your gong, which is where the scenes are. Now, on the premium LE, you got to hit the gong twice. This one, you don't have to do it. And you notice I got a skill shot too. That gave a Kong letter. That is important. And the reason why it becomes important is because once we get through our first 4 letters, we'll light Deadeye, which is another side mode that's worth, it can be pretty significant points. But like I mentioned earlier, a lot of stuff's going to happen in the background. I'm going to generally ignore it while I'm talking to you guys about this. We're going to exclusively focus on this roadmap. But if you look on the LCD, you'll see some other stuff happening, such as the Kong combos, some river awards happening. It mentions power-ups. Again, a lot of stuff going on, more than what people realize, more than what I even realized till I really dug into this. But for now, focusing on the roadmap. As soon as I actually, get some stuff going here besides just qualifying the scene. Now from here, if you're in this spot, you can pretty much do it however you want to. But for me personally, I think that if you are going to go for your Kong locks, you need to go ahead and do it on ball 1 while you still got the ball safe. Prime example right there. As soon as I'm talking about, I drain out. But the good news is I have my locks lit at the center ramp. They're ready to go. The first part of this stack is getting there. Plus I have 2 Kong letters, and I'm going to be able to start making some progress this ball. So if you're in the spot, don't panic. It's fine. Kong is very much a game in which you can get things set up and then start executing on it. Sorry, I'm like watching myself just drain nonstop. Thank God for ball saves. But I would be playing this completely different if there were no ball saves, and that's another talk for another time. That's another video. How to approach pro circuit setups. Much different than these types of gameplays. All right, so we got our 3 locks. Then we immediately go into the gong. Now, there's one thing you can do I didn't do right there. Lift up your right flipper, block off that right orbit if you don't feel confident about your shot into the gong, because then you'll prevent your multiball from accidentally starting. Because that's very important. Once you start the multiball, you can't start your mode. So you want to make sure you get the scene going, then you hit center ramp like I just did, feed that left ramp, start your multiball. Now we got this big stack going, and there's going to be a lot going on here. Look at the text down below if you want to know exactly what's happening. It's going to be fast and furious, and you can approach this any way you want. Me personally, I just like taking the shots as they're available. I probably need to alter that strategy a little bit, but I don't mind going for that easy green shot up the middle at the very beginning, and then generally starting on my jackpots or even my add-a-ball. I like going for that as early as possible. And if you notice, I'm also aiming at the right shot, that concave, because that will give me an arrow award, which will progress me a little bit through my multiball. And it also gives me a cave award, which you just saw right there. Now, what's interesting about the cave awards is that if you just drop it into that buck, it's worth 2x. But there is also a switch that's up there right above the flipper underneath the little plastic. If you hit that and drop it down, that's going to be worth 3x. So that's pretty much what is happening right there. And you saw a super jackpot come in. Again, we're not going to go over too much on general strategy and tactics on these multi-balls. It's more or less just knowing exactly where the shots are and then start formulating your own strategy around it, what you feel comfortable with. Now, there is situations to where you might even be comfortable playing the multi-ball on its own, playing a naked multi-ball, maybe not bring any scene into it. But this, for me personally, I really like this stack just because I know I'm going to be aiming at the drop targets anyways to light my jackpots, and then I can advance my mode. Now, here's also why this is very strong. Now, we get to start Deadeye immediately. And that's because we had the 4 King Kong letters, or the 4 King letters at the beginning. So with Deadeye right here, what I'm doing is just simply plunging for 30 seconds. It's unlimited skill shots, and the value on this is worth 1 million base, and it'll advance by 500,000 with each award that you get. The pit's going to be worth 1x value, the left out lane is 2x value, the left in lane is 3x value. And once you collect 3 awards, then you can start plunging up to the river for your Deadeye jackpot. And hopefully we'll get one here at the last second. I don't think we are. We got one a little bit earlier, but that's how that all works. Now, what I'm not sure of is if you can multiply that with your playfield multiplier. I haven't tried that yet. Maybe you can. I got to check into that. And in case you're wondering, while we're qualifying the next scene, playfield multipliers are simply hitting the 4 stand-up targets, one of them located at the left, which I just start double scoring right there. One of them located at the left ramp, another one at the right ramp, and 2 of them at the gong entrance. You hit those, and then you'll get a roving X around. You hit that starts your 2x scoring. You'll know that you're in 2x playfield by looking at the in-lane plastics by the flippers. You see those flashing? That represents 2x. And if you want to add on more time, you'll just hit whatever stand-up target is flashing. And we got our island lock right there. Not mentioned on the roadmap. This is something that adds to your scenes, gives you 2-ball multi-ball. You do that, or 2-ball mode, kind of like Avengers, but you get that by climbing so much. All right, so we're in save and we're going to hit some shots, but because we have island lock, that's why there's 2 balls out there. And sometimes you'll get to this point, sometimes you won't. It's okay, but you can start pit multi-balls while this is running. You're going to see it right here. So you get into a spot, I'm going to wait till that insert goes to the giant spider, and then I'm good to go. So from here, you have options. I think the best way to go about this is rip that center spinner as fast as possible, which you just saw right there. Now I have 3 red shots lit at the left ramp, center ramp, and side ramp. That is for my Giant Spider Multiball. That will add on to the value of the jackpot because it'll put a jackpot multiplier on it. Meanwhile, I'm also hitting the other shots that are blue shots and cashing in at the gong. That's happening in the background of all of this. And so what you're going to see here too is once you get in a certain rhythm, it is entirely possible. And I've done this before. I have a video of it. I don't know if or even when I'm going to put this out, but you can farm Giant Spider Multiball. You can farm it, and I believe I've maxed out the jackpots at around 75 million as we get a 4x jackpot, leaving it for 28 million right there. But I've maxed it out at 75 million, 2x, it's been upwards of 150 million for a jackpot collect. It gets pretty fatty. It gets really up there. So now we got past save and Giant Spider. You saw how all that worked. We simply just hit some blue shots in the background, and then we hit the gong to cash it in. Did that 4 times. It's done. So from here, that's your opening roadmap. To me, if you really focus on that, you'll be in a very good spot from the beginning without even really doing or really worrying about anything else in the game. That should put you in a good spot to have a few 100 million points, depending on how you play it. And as you could tell, I have 300 million right now. So I think that's a good base to go off of. And of course, in this video, we're going to keep going. So you're going to see biplane attack now. I can get this going even more by hitting that center spinner. We're going to start building up the value. At the same time, I'm letting that ball drop down the river as often as possible in order to start rapids, which is another side mode or a side feature. It's very cool. So it's going on right now. We've got to hit 4 shots up the middle now in order to light the cave for our cash out, for our jackpot, or our cave jackpot. Now, biplane went ahead. It's about the timeout because I'm missing shots. But biplane is there if you want to take it. It's not that difficult to start. We can see it bringing up a ton of value, which is awesome, but I still have to hit the side ramp to cash in that value, and I don't do it right here. But that's pretty much what all was going on there. And now I have the option. I can either keep building up this rapids value, which we got it at 4x, and now that combo multiplier will decay if you wait too long. I think it Yeah, so right there, it decayed momentarily. I hit it again, brought it up to 4x. So we're at 6. I'm going to go ahead and cash it out for 28 million points, or a little above 28 million. And that's how Rapids works right there. You just start jamming on shots, you start feeling it, you stay in that flow, and you just send. Send, send, send. It's awesome. Now you notice River 7, it says I'm one more away from extra ball. It is advantageous to get to River 8 if you can, that award. The reason because extra balls, if they're turned off, they're worth around 15 million points. Extra points, that's what we want. And if you happen to have extra balls on, you get to play it. There you go. Then you go ahead and play it. So for my next mode, I'm going to take Cross the Chasm. And the reason for this is that if you can get this 2x, the points can actually be pretty valuable, which I go for right now. And what you're going to see is I'm going to just jam back and forth going up the left ramp. The ball will feed to the upper right flipper, and then I'll try to hit the U-turn shot and just repeat that over and over again. Unfortunately, I start breaking the right flipper shot over and over again, that U-turn shot. So I don't really show it off too well, but what you're going to notice is that you can still get back under control, use that center ramp if you need to get the ball to the left flipper as quickly as possible, and then just hit the center spinner. You're back under control. You got a ball at the upper mini flipper on the left side. You can keep collecting points. And this mode right here, because it's 2x, and Old Man Drain, don't worry about that. Nobody saw that. Because it's 2x, I totally forgot that happened. Because it's 2x, it says 33 million total, but it was actually worth a lot more than that. It was over 70 million, and the score reflects that. Obviously, my skills, my reaction skills did not reflect that at all. But that's pretty much how this game works. We're going to stop it right there. Hopefully this gives you an idea of how to attack this. It gives you a foundation on what to do. And yeah, good luck in any tournaments that you may have this in. Good luck at all of your launch parties. I hope you guys destroy it. And once again, I do appreciate you so much for being here. It's a blast to do these videos, and I always look forward to doing them. Until next time, I'll see you guys on the next one.